what time it is.
How it all works.
Come on.
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 How it
Hello, hello, hello. It's so good to have you back for another episode of Convos and Collabs. Mondays, 7 p.m. It's your time. I don't know where you've been. I don't know what you were expecting, but this is it. And let me tell you something, man. We've got a show lined up for you. This person. I have said it before. I hope she has never heard me say this, but she'll hear me say it now. I have said this before on some other broadcasts. Like when I watched Stephanie talk about some of the content creation schedule, some of the stuff that she does in the eCam community, I literally had to go back to the drawing board to throw some stuff out and say, man, okay, now what do I need to do here? So I'm excited for what she's going to share today. I'm excited to have her on the show, excited to talk about all of the things. We're having a great time backstage, just chopping it up and laughing at some stuff. It's a Monday, right? It's a Monday. Man, I see some of you are firing off in the comment section already. Knowledge is power podcast live, says Kirk. I like that one too. I need this countdown clock. Listen. We're gonna get it done, okay? So just send me another email. We'll figure it out. We'll get you something built up. Even if I have to work with somebody to get it done. I don't know what platform you're using, but we're gonna figure it out. Now, let me say this: if you haven't already checked out buymeacoffee.com/Kirk Arnusian, I know one of my mods is out today, but I'm hoping that the other one will hold me down for some links in the comment section. But yeah, if you haven't checked that out, you're going to want to do that. Let me tell you why, because there's a short after party after the live tonight. We're going to be hanging out in Zoom with Stephanie and a couple of our regulars. And so if you want tickets, you got to jump on BMAC, buymeacoffee.com/Kirk Arnusian, grab your tickets there, and we will hang out after the show. Man, and the other thing that's on BMAC is access to the group. Man, David Hunt said he wasn't going to be here, but look at that. He's holding it down in the comment section. Yes, that's the link, fam. So definitely check it out. And you have access to the group. One of the other extras that's there on BMAC is access to the Next Level Ambassadors group. So jump on in. That's what Kanika's saying. Jump on in. Look, the water is fine. So jump on in. I've talked about Alter Live Academy on a couple of occasions, but we had to postpone. This is good news. We had to postpone from the start date that we were doing because we had a couple of people in the pipeline. We wanted to get them through. So we're actually going to start Thursday, September 2nd. So for all of my faith-based folks out there, my pastors, ministry leaders, independent ministries, if you want to dive in, kick the tires on Alter Live and talk about online engagement for discipleship and ministry, let's do it. Come on. That is going to be a lot of fun. I'm actually looking forward to it. You know, it's one of those things where it's like we had the start date already. So I've already have everything prepped and ready, you know, all that procrastination because we had the start date and then we get it postponed. So now I feel like I'm like super ready. Super ready. Gary Jones is in the space. Thank you for coming through, Gary Jones. We will play a video for Leap Into Live during our show today because both Stephanie and I are speakers. Stephanie actually is one of the masterminds behind Leap Into Live. A little bit more about that to come. But my session is called The Art of the Interview, how to book the best guests and create the most engaging interviews. I'm going to be sharing all the secrets, fam. So make sure you're registered because it's going to be a lot of fun. You will walk away with tangible next steps. Okay, so make sure you check that out. I'm sharing this picture because Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, we are live on Amazon Live. We're live on Amazon Live, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. So that's 11 o'clock for my East Coast folks. And that's 8. I know that's early for my West Coast folks. I could see Stephanie in the back saying that's too early for me, Kirk. I'm not going to hang out with you at 8 o'clock in the morning talking about gear. But if you, man, listen, we've been going over all kinds of stuff. Today's live was about looking at docks, USB docks, Thunderbolt, USB-C. What is the difference? What do we need to look for? It is the most confusing thing, and Amazon does not make it easy because you can find all kinds of dongles out there and destroy your live stream. So definitely check out what we got going on Amazon Live. We're excited about what we got going there, man. We are coming to the close of this season of Convos and Collabs. It has been phenomenal. And next week we close it out with Heather Ramirez. And I just love the quote. It says, just create more. I love that. Just create more. But that is next week. So make sure you're back here next week. locked and loaded. The following week is going to be, I think it's Labor Day. So nothing that week. But then after that is Leap Into Live. So let's make sure we're all locked in. James Bush says, usual suspects. Gary David, what's up? Thank you guys for being here. Make sure you're sharing the stream. We want to get as many people in here as possible so we can hang out today with Stephanie. And Stephanie is the last ad that I'm going to share with you, the last quote that I'm going to share with you before we get this intro video and bring her on screen. I love this. I love this. I love this. And those of you that have been following me for a while, you know that this message resonates with me so much. There are resources in relationships. Start building them now. That is so good. That is so good. I grew up with a master networker for a father, and I don't even know, he knows how much of a master networker he is. Some of the things he does in interpersonal relationships and knowing when to owe somebody something so that you keep that relationship going. It's just amazing, some of the stuff that he does. But that's why I so resonate with this quote. There are resources in relationships. Start building those relationships today. Make sure you step outside your comfort zone. Go join a group somewhere, go find an interest, a hobby, a special interest group, something. Join it and engage with folks in there in ways that you never thought you would ever, and see what happens as you expand your network and you grow. I'm excited today. I hope you're excited. When we get back after this quick little intro video, I want you guys to be on your best behavior, number one. Number two, I want you to welcome the guest for today, Stephanie Liu. Yes, 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 yes. She's here. She's here. We're so excited to have you.
We did it.
We had to have some cheering, right? Listen, for those in the chat, man, listen, we want to send off some fireworks. We want to make sure we see some emojis. Put something in the chat to welcome Stephanie Liu to How It All Works. Stephanie, how are you?
I am so good. Oh my gosh, Gary Jones is in the house. I'm freaking excited. So excited.
We are excited, dude.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so much fun.
Listen, oh man, I have just been having way too much fun with this Rodecaster Pro. So let me leave it alone for now. But Stephanie, man, this is one of those bucket list moments for me. I know you don't want to hear that, but to be clear, I remember the first time I saw one of your live streams in the eCam community, I had to stop what I was doing because I was just I felt like, oh man, I've been doing this thing wrong. I got to figure out some stuff. I got to put some systems in place. And a lot of that stuff, I turn around and start teaching some other folks as well. So I'll send you a little royalty check. No, I'm just
It's one of those things. I have you rethink your whole entire strategy for, what's your purpose? What's your intention?
I love that.
When you think about how much time you're dedicating to your craft, we all want to be masters of our craft, right? Yeah. You got a Rodecaster Pro.
That's right.
And there's certain things that you want to invest in. And so when you know what your purpose is, then you know why you're going live. You know that you have a message, because more often than not, when people go live, there's a lot of mess in their message and they don't really know what it is that they're trying to say. And so, come talk, come listen.
Come on.
I'll have you rethink your whole entire strategy.
Yes, this is we're right out the gate. We're already firing. I hope you guys see that this is going to be the pace tonight. I'm going to ask one of my audience's favorite questions. These are questions I ask everybody that comes on. These two questions right here. So this is the first one. And of course, I always have to preface this and say, this is not your creator story. This is just kind of like who you are, where you are right now, and your relationship to this whole live streaming space. Talk to us a little bit.
So what's my whole live streaming thing?
Yeah,
Oh
like
my
what you do,
goodness.
what you're currently doing right now, So basically introduce yourself to the folks who don't know the greatness that is Stephanie Liu. All right.
All right. Hey, everyone. I'm Stephanie Liu. I'm the founder of Lights, Camera, Live. And man, my goodness, I help brands go from unknown to unfreaking forgettable by leveraging live video. And that means, yes, we do talk about the gear, but my specialty is all about how to get the gears working up here.
Oh,
How do
good.
you take what it is that you know and take those stumbling blocks that you encountered in your journey and turn them into stepping stones for your audience? How do you do that with live video? So that's my specialty. What I'm doing now, obviously co-founder of the Leap into Live Streaming Bootcamp, which I'm super excited about.
Excited.
And I think I was even telling Kirk, I was like, I've got 2 keynotes on Wednesday, a show on Wednesday. I don't know what I was thinking, but I produce multiple shows. I'm a remote live video producer. I was one of the first ones to like put that idea out there. Kirk, I don't know if I ever told you this, but I was the first one to tell Ken and Glenn. I was like, hey, can Ecamm do this? Because I want to remote live produce other people's shows. And he was like, that's not a thing. I'm like, I'm making it a thing.
It's a thing.
And then it became a thing.
Wow,
and then we
that is
created
amazing.
A whole course around it, created showrunner secrets from the set. And people are now like, I want to be a remote live video producer. Cool.
Yeah.
This is how you get started. So those are all the things so far. It's in the live streaming world. Yes. Published a book. Yes. I have my own training company that helps content creators, entrepreneurs learn how to ignite their ideas, be brilliant in the boardroom, and captivate on command. That's what I do. Yeah.
Listen, I'm looking at the comments. They're going nuts, and listen, and all of what you're sharing is so aligned and it's perfect for this space, because that's exactly what I've created here with How It All Works. Live video strategy. How do you shine a floodlight on your brand with live video, but also remote production? That's like part of my bag. So this is why when I found you in the Ecamm community, I was like, whoa, where have I been? I've been under a rock, clearly. So I had to go back and start looking at some of your older podcasts, your older content, and really start learning a lot from you. So excited to be able to have you come through and chat it up with us today. Let me take this question off the screen. Let's see what we got in the comments. Stephanie Liu knows all. Mike Alton, thank you so much for coming through. I'm not going to argue with you at all. Melanie was on the show a few weeks back, and she's like, it's Stephanie Liu. Let's get it. Let's get it. I'm excited to see her back here.
I love all these people. I want to hug you. You're amazing.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Here's Gary Jones is saying it too. He says, when I tell others I am a remote producer, I have to have you to thank for it. That's amazing.
Oh my goodness.
That's amazing. Me and Gary were just talking about some remote production stuff that we want to be able to do and share with other folks. And I mean, it's just the doors open as you learn these platforms. So it's an amazing thing that we see happening. Here's the second question. And I'm going to throw it out there because, again, we got a lot to get to, but these two are the ones that I just want to make sure we check these boxes. What is your live streaming content creator story? So, I mean, this is the nuts and bolts. A lot of folks always want to know, how did you get started? Like, we see you now, and of course you've been giving us little tidbits here or there of your story and your journey, but we know that there's so much more to it. Just take some time. We got time. Take some time and just kind of walk us through some stuff in terms of how you got started.
Yeah. So most people don't know this. It'll all start to make sense when you realize all the things that I've done. And so I'm an ad agency veteran. I spent the last decade and a half deep in the trenches of agency life, which means my background has always been paid search, SEO, and social media. My clients have been Nike, Sephora, Clinique, all the big brand names, right? Wow. And so I was used to working in the agency world, my gosh, maybe like 50 plus hours a week. That was the norm, right? If you wanted to be successful, that's what success was. Success was busyness, right? And so what had happened was eventually my husband and I realized, hey, we're pregnant. And that's when I realized, if I'm going to bring another human being into this world, I don't want to spend 50 plus hours a week away from her. I want to be the one that instills the values, the beliefs, and the attitudes.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
I want to be present. And so when I did that, I decided to make the courageous move of leaving the ad agency role. Because heck, if I could do it for Nike Sephora Clinique, I could do it for myself. I know I could do it for myself. I've proven that. And so then I left the agency world. But then I realized everyone else was calling themselves a strategist. I was like, hold on. You're a strategist? Really? Right? And they're like, yeah, I watched a webinar and now I'm a strategist. I'm like, no, you ain't. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. And so how do you separate yourself from the sea of sameness? How do you do that?
Where's my notes?
And for me, it was very much, instead of me telling you what I do, let me show you what I can do. And so that's when I realized, you know what, not a lot of people were going live. And this was probably like 2016, I think. Not a lot of people were going live. And if I knew that if I could show up confident on camera, if I could do that, I could inspire a whole new wave of prospects. Because if I knew what to say, how to deliver it, and show them on air that I could solve the problem just like that.
Yeah.
Of course they want to work with me. Of course they want to work with me. Even if someone had already asked a question and it was kind of the same, but I still gave off that vibe of like, I'm here to help you.
Right.
Let me explain it to you a different way because I'm flexible like that. Then I knew after every single live, I kid you not, after every single live video, new client.
Wow.
That was it. I didn't have to worry about Instagram or all the other platforms. All I had to do was just show up.
Wow.
Yeah. And since then, Lights Camera Live has been on air since 2016. I've done showrunner secrets from the set, digital confetti, published a book, all the different things, all thanks to live streaming.
Wow.
Think about it. I never thought that I was going to be on camera, right? It was never really a thing. But what happened was that when I started going live, because Facebook would send out notifications, I'm still a Facebook live streamer. What had happened was because I had these resources in these relationships that we talked about before, because people started to see me in their newsfeed, Kirk, I became top of mind, tip of tongue.
Right.
When people needed something, they knew exactly where to go because they saw me. And not only that, though, but just like you, I gave a damn about how I showed up.
Exactly.
I invested in my overlays. I took the mess out of my message, you know, like I knew exactly what I wanted to say, how I was going to say it, and I made it consistent so that way you couldn't escape me.
Man. See, this is so good. I'm seeing some of the comments. I'm gonna dive into them in a second. One of the things a friend of mine said to me the other day, he was introducing me. I was speaking at this thing and he was introducing me. He's like, I have the pleasure of introducing this guy. And here's what I know about the pandemic. There's two phrases I know about the pandemic. And I was like, okay, what's he going to say? He's like, one phrase is, you're on mute, right? Your mic is muted. That's the number one phrase with the pandemic. And he said, but for at least for me, the second phrase is Kirk Nugent is live. Like that's the notification that just kept on popping up on my phone. Every time it's like, this guy's live. And so I'm listening to what you're saying and I'm like, wow, that is amazing. Top of mind, tip of tongue. And when people think about, oh man, I wonder, is he doing this? I wonder, is he going to show that? I got this question. I got that question. Wow, that is amazing. Show them instead of tell them. To separate yourself from the sea of sameness. Fam, I'm taking notes. I just want y'all to know I'm taking some notes here. Let me get some of these questions, and then we're gonna get an audience question out here as well.
Bring them out. So, I'm like, give me the questions. This is the fun part. You know, bring them out.
I live for the questions. I told a event organizer, I was like, I do the presentation just for the questions. All right, so here we go. All right, so Anthony Bulgin says, how do you separate yourself? Okay, yeah, okay. No, I think he was just agreeing with us, right? So how do you separate yourself from the sea of sameness? Say, show, not tell. That's really good. Yeah. That's really good. Lolo says, I appreciate the content. You can't escape the Liu. She is everywhere, thankfully. This is Devin Chambers. So he is appreciating. I thought we had questions, but they're just comments. The people are just commenting as you're talking.
It's Illuminati. That's what's happening. I call it the Illuminati.
You cannot escape. That is amazing. That is amazing. I think there's a lot that you shared in your story that people can plug into. And this is one of the reasons why it's one of the most favorite questions from my audience on the show, because they can resonate. They can say to themselves, I also have a background. And I always tell people that your story gives you not only credibility and notoriety, but it tells people that you've come from somewhere and you're going somewhere, right? So, and that level of realness is something that people are really resonate with, and they're looking for as they go online, even as they're looking to answer questions. They want to know that the person that's answering them is also real and also has a story and has pitfalls, all that kind of stuff. I'm so excited for people to be able to hear what you are sharing with us today. That is so amazing. Stephanie Liu is the truth, super authentic. Steve Worthy just came through. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody for coming through, and thank you for sharing, your story. We do have a question for the audience, and I want to throw this to the audience. There's a super chat. Thank you so much, Lolo. We appreciate you, man. Lolo, thank you so much. Let me get this thing down here. Lolo, thank you so much for the super chat. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. You are the real MVP. Man. Just got to do that. Want to make sure that we appreciate that. Anything that you can do to support a creator is amazing. So we want to say a word of appreciation for that. I do have this audience question out here. I'm going to throw this up real quick, and it is: how many of you are familiar? Right, I'm not even gonna spell it out. I'm just gonna say the acronym. How many of you even know what NLP stands for? And how many of you are familiar with Conversation AI? Like, these are the questions. I want to throw this out to the audience. I've got the content framework from Stephanie. It is fire. This is what David Hunt is saying. Cool. I'm throwing this out to the audience. I want you guys to go ahead and respond in your own way. Maybe even say what the letters mean. NLP and Conversation AI. Come on and talk to us. How many of you have even heard of it? Is it a part of your workflow? Have you started to try to leverage some of these things in what you're doing online? Talk to us in the comments. And while you're doing that, we are going to play a quick ad for Leap Into Live, and then me and Stephanie will come back to chat it up about your answers. Let's get it.
Are you ready to take your content to the next level? The live streaming market is booming, but with so many options out there, it's hard to know where to start. You've heard about doing live video and other video content on platforms like LinkedIn and Facebook, but you're not sure how to make the most of this or how this is going to help you with your business. You're not sure if creating a YouTube channel is going to help you get more customers or it's just a waste of your time. We will walk you through everything you need to succeed in live video with this 4-day immersive virtual bootcamp. We've got all bases covered, from choosing the right platform for your needs, planning an event, recording epic video content and editing it into something awesome, scheduling posts on social media, promoting your videos, and monetizing them effectively. This course is designed for everyone from total beginners who are just getting started in live streaming to those who want to grow their visibility and increase business by creating more valuable content. Leap into live streaming virtual bootcamp.
Here we go. Leap into live streaming virtual bootcamp. Man, September 13th to 16th. You need to go ahead and register. I see 16 of you are out there. I love that you guys are here hanging out with us. I didn't see any answers to the question, but that's okay, because we're going to dive into it anyway. But I want to make sure you guys know the URL to register. It's leapinto.live, and somebody's going to put that in the comments for us in just a second. But leapinto.live. It's all spelled normally. It's not a special spelling, so you don't have to put any dots or dashes. Leapinto.live. It's going to get you right where you want to be, and you can see on the screen here, man, the sponsors. The sponsor list alone is legit. That it should give you already that should let you know the caliber and of the quality, right? All of the different people that are going to be sponsoring here. It's just amazing. I'm just glad I'm a speaker just for the sponsor list. And then we got our keynote speakers. One happens to be my guest. She's right here. And Leslie's going to be there. Diana Gladney, Pat Flynn. If you've never heard Pat Flynn speak, this is going to be awesome. I had the privilege of catching him at one of Leslie's conferences, actually. And then, of course, this list just goes on and on and on in terms of all the different people that are here. There's a guy right there. I don't know if you know that guy. That guy's speaking as well. and it's just, there's a ton of content, a lot of different sessions to go to. But definitely take a second and go check that out. While we're showing the screen, I'm just going to run over to this other site real quick. This site is actually in the description of the video, both on Facebook and on YouTube. Lights Camera Live. Lights Camera Live is Stephanie's website. And trust me, you're going to want to go over there, check it out, sign up for the mailing list. She's got some freemium stuff that's there, but there's some other premium stuff that's there. You may want to look at that as well. So I'm excited to be able to share this with you and show this to you. I see Mike Alton came back through. Leap into Live is going to be a fantastic event. I could not agree with you more, Mike. That's going to be awesome. So here is my fourth question for Stephanie, and I'm all ears for this one. I'm like, even if we weren't live, I'd be excited for her to answer this question, right? What is NLP, right? What is David Hunt says neural language processing? No. You missed one word.
There's natural language processing, which most people know if it's kind of like Conversation.ai, right? If you're doing AI stuff. The stuff that I teach is neuro-linguistic programming. And to answer your question as far as what is that?
What is it?
The best way to describe that is that it's like the user manual for your mind. It's understanding how we process information. Because think about this. If you think about all the different things that are surrounding you right now, like you right now in your office right now, Kirk, right?
Yeah.
You've got lights going on, you've got comments, you've got all the things.
It's a lot.
Even outside of that, you may even have, like for me, I have like a window over here and I could hear cars and all the different things. That's like 11 million bits of information coming at you at once, right? But our brain can't handle all of that information. Our brain can actually only tap into 126 bits. So what's going on around us, all of that information is being filtered. It's like getting a giant canvas that has this big, beautiful photo and has like these beautiful brushstrokes on it, right?
Yeah.
And then because our brains can only handle so much, it's taking that canvas and putting it through a paper shredder. And the only thing that you get left is a piece of confetti. And that's the 126 bits.
Wow.
Why is that important?
Wow.
Why is that important? Because that lets you know how people are focusing their attention. We filter out information based off of our values, our beliefs, and our attitudes. You've probably had friends before where they focus on the positive things because that's how they choose to focus their 126 bits. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
And then you may have other people where they're only focused on the negative, and that's where their 126 bits is. They delete, distort, generalize everything else that's happening in life. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first part. That's the first part in understanding how our mind works. We take information that happens in our life, our experiences, and then we give it a label. We give it a name. My definition for success is probably very different from what your definition for success is because I hold a different picture in my mind. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Certain words, entrepreneurship, what it means to be successful as a live streamer, we all have a different definition to it. And understanding how people label and organize their thoughts, that's the neural part. Linguistics, I'm going to geek out with you.
Come on.
Linguistics, we limit ourselves and our world by the language that we used. And I say that because there are often times when I talk to content creators and they're like, oh, but I can't do that yet. I can't go live yet. I'm like, why? What's holding you back? What's that story? And there are some people who will tell you like, oh, well, there was this one time There was this one time, long time ago, where someone had said something to me when I was younger, and that story has impacted me till now. Like, I kid you not. There's a good friend of mine, super well connected. Every event that we had here in San Diego, she knew all the authors, the headliners, the keynote speakers, and all the things. And when it was her turn to like take the mic and introduce them, she was like, no. I don't want to be in front of the mic. I was like, why? Why not? She goes, oh, well, there was this one time when I was in the second grade and I had to do show and tell. And when I was trying to tell them about my favorite thing that she was excited about, well, the teacher had said, speak louder.
Oh my.
Speak louder. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it made her feel so small that she refused to speak up. And I was like, how old are you now? How old are you right now?
Right
She's
now.
like, well, I'm turning 48.
Wow.
Do you know how old you are when you're in the second grade? My daughter, what? She's 6 right now. She's in the first grade. So that means in the 7th grade,
This happened.
that happened.
Wow.
You're 48 now. So for 47 years, that story has still been limiting you.
Mm.
And so when you understand the limits of people's language, the stories that they tell themselves, what's holding them back, then you could help them get past those stumbling blocks and turn them into stepping stones. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. The last part of that is going to be programming. Programming is what we do unconsciously. The best way to describe this is, Kirk, when you and your wife were dating, how long did it take for you to get ready to go on this date with that special woman in your life?
Oh, it took a while.
It took a while because you were conscious of it, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, what am I gonna wear?
Oh, yeah.
Am I gonna put on cologne?
Yeah.
What restaurant am I gonna take her?
Exactly.
You were conscious of it, right? These days, most couples, if they've been together for a very long time, their unconscious programming comes out. They don't think about what they're wearing. They'll show up in their sweats, or did I put on deodorant today? Did I even take a shower today? When was the last time I washed my hair? Right? And so we have like these unconscious programs that we run in our mind of, if we want to try something new, are we willing to embrace that and go after it? Because in my mind, if you say, Stephanie, you might fail, that's totally fine, because fail, that means first attempt in learning. That's how I'm programmed. Whereas other people, if they were taught at a very young age, oh, failure is bad, you know, you don't want to be embarrassed and all those different things, their unconscious programming is to never try something new. And that's why we did Leap into Live. That's why we did Leap into Live, is because we wanted to let people know that failure is only feedback. Because sometimes you could read all the books, all the things that you want, but sometimes you just have to put yourself out there and learn through failure because it's your first attempt in learning.
Yeah.
And so NLP is understanding all of that. It's understanding how your mind works. It's understanding your language, how you speak to yourself. Because how many of you content creators, how many times have you taught yourself into things and then taught yourself out of things? How many times are you second guessing yourself? And how many times has that impacted you on your growth? And then also understanding how you make your decisions.
Wow.
How you make your decisions. There's, can I keep going?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's this thing that we teach, and it's called the universal model of change, right? And if I could draw it, just imagine. So here's point A, and here's point B. And then there's C, which goes all the way to the bottom, and then you go D, and then there's A1 prime, okay? Most people, when they want to get to the next level in their lives, they keep going from A to B. Hey, this worked when I first started my channel.
Right.
Why isn't it working now? I hit 5,000 subscribers. Why can't I get 10,000 subscribers? And they keep doing the same. They're on this conveyor belt, right? Nothing changes if nothing changes. What you don't change, you choose, okay? So they keep going on this conveyor belt. It's like, why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? And then it gets to a point where it gets so bad. And then they decide to change. And then they change, right? Okay, I'm finally going to turn my life around. I'm finally going to go ahead and invest. I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to have new resources, new strategies. And then they get to that next level. Yeah. And then that becomes their A prime, right?
Mercy.
So most people go through that stage. What I like to teach people is instead of waiting until you hit rock bottom, why don't you start building those relationships now? Why don't you be a part of Leap Into Live now? Why don't you be a part of Kirk's membership right now? Because he wants to save you all of that headache so you don't have to hit rock bottom. So that way it's like pulling back an arrow, right? It's like when you pull back the arrow, you got to look back and you just have to adjust. Okay, what do I need to change in my content strategy, my content framework? Okay, aim, poof,
Boom.
and you go. You hit your target. That's the smart way to do that. And that's what I always try to tell these content creators, because more often than not, they're like, no. I'm still going to try to do the free stuff. I'm like, let me tell you, there's only so much money you can make from free stuff. At some point, you have to learn how to invest in yourself, because how will anyone else invest in you? You can't be out there trying to sell courses and all this other stuff if you've never invested in a course yourself. You don't know what's at stake. You don't know what's going on in their brains. Anyways, that's my rant.
Now that's good. I am blown away. I'm looking at the chat. Devin Chambers is saying Stephanie came in stomping on toes. Ouch. I pulled mine under. I pulled mine under the seat. So I was able to avoid getting stomped on, but she still got me though. Man, I mean, so many nuggets of wisdom. I absolutely love, the acronym for FAIL. I've heard it once before, but never quite the way you just said it. And I love the flip of it. Failure is only feedback. But the piece that really just knocked me square between my eyes is what you don't change, you choose. I think, this is a really the crux. I mean, if you walk away right now, like if you click, if you click to leave the live right now, just write down that one line, because whatever you do not change, you are actually choosing. Oh man, that's a conversation I have with my kids regularly as well. So.
We do this all the time. And like when I coach clients, when they're in their comfort zone, when they're in their comfort zone, and you're like, I know you like that comfort zone because you think it's comfortable, but let me tell you, that comfort zone, that couch you're sitting on, it's got bed bugs. You need to stop that. And when they realize that, they're like,
I gotta get out of here. This is it's only the comfort. It's only comfortable because you've never been to the next level.
Exactly.
And so because you've never been to the next level, you don't even know what that level looks like. So you're comfortable where you've been, but you don't know what you're missing out on. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing that what we're talking about here. NLP, the way you described it, absolutely phenomenal. What is just a follow-up question? How does one become versed in NLP? I mean, and do you use it for your coaching and for your clients, or do you use it for your own business and for your own, for your own endeavors as well?
All the things. It's in everything.
I figured.
Here's the thing. NLP is really this. NLP is understanding how to communicate effectively, because the meaning of communication is the response that you get. Just because you said it one way and someone doesn't get it doesn't mean that person isn't smart. It means you need to have the flexibility in order to communicate effectively. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So as a content creator, understand this. There are those of us that are visual communicators. We speak really fast. We jump from one idea to the other. We're about graphics, overlays, presentations, all the things, right?
Yeah.
And then we have our auditory learners, those that like to hang on to every single word, right? Because they really want to hear. And then you have your kinesthetic learners, where they're like, hold on. How does this work?
Right.
Teach me.
Let
me learn, right? Let me experiment. And how that's helpful for a content creator is that if you're only communicating one way, you are excluding everyone else.
Wow.
Everyone else. And so as a content creator, as an orator, how do you communicate in a way that captivates an audience from beginning, middle to end? How do you do that? And that's what NLP really is. NLP is also understanding what motivates people. What do you say to yourself, Kirk, when you go to the gym or when you work out? What do you say?
I'm trying to push myself to the next level. I'm trying to get to my target goals, my target. So I have a routine that I do to get into that mindset, to hit the gym and to really get going.
What's the first thing you say to yourself to get yourself out of bed?
Time to go.
Time to go. Cool.
Yeah.
Time to go make some content. Time
Yeah.
to go live.
Yeah.
Time to go publish a book. Time to go do this, do that. That
Wow.
is do you see how powerful that is? Because that's how
Yeah.
you motivate yourself.
Wow.
So if
Wow.
you know how to motivate your audience, because you find out what they say to themselves to
Yeah.
motivate themselves, time to go make some
Time
content.
to go. My goodness.
Time to go. Let's go. Time to go.
This is amazing. But this is amazing. I see Mike Alton's is saying, what's NLP for? Oh, only emails and blogs and videos and meetings and parenting and relationships and managing and gosh, just about everything, right? So
Yeah.
he's basically just agreeing with you. But I mean, it's such a great way to put it and to answer
But
the
does
question.
that
I
make
think
sense though?
Oh, it does. It absolutely makes sense. It lands. I mean, as soon as you said it, even for me, and then just applying that one phrase to some of the larger items that have been on my list for a
connecting
while,
it.
it's like,
Yeah.
boom, let's go, let's move. So that's amazing, and understanding the science behind how our brains work, and that is amazing. I'm just blown away, and I could stay right here for the entirety of the remainder of our time together.
I want
We
to
have
make sure you're getting value because
Oh,
it's not very
this-
often that I get to hang out with you. There are times when you and I are speaking at the same event and our sessions overlap each other, or
right.
so sometimes I'll catch you in the comments. And I know that we have an audience and all that other stuff, but I want to make sure that you're getting value too.
Oh
right?
yeah, no, this is absolutely valuable for me. I've got a page full of notes, and I'm definitely tweaking them and putting other things on there as
Yeah.
we go. I almost don't even want to go into the next question because I just feel like we can stay right here for a little
We
bit
could talk
longer.
about whatever it is that you want. I mean, honestly,
That is
the
good.
meaning of communication is the response that you get.
Yeah.
And if you are saying things and you're using visual words like, look, let me spotlight this for you, let me highlight this for you, and someone is an auditory learner, you're going to want to say something like, hey, this might ring a bell, or does this click?
Does this click? Right.
Are we in tune?
so-
or if someone's
so
a
you're-
kinesthetic learner, are we on the same page?
Page. Right. Mm.
Let me wrap your head around this real quick.
So you're
Does that
hitting
make sense?
it's in one sentence or one phrase, you're hitting several different learning styles to ensure that everybody's with you and you're moving on in the same direction together. That's amazing.
Yes. And if you've ever watched, and I know that you have, if you ever go back and listen to any of my shows, you'll notice that I hit on every single one of those.
Yeah.
I will say something like, hey, you guys, in today's episode, we're going to talk about da-da-da-da. Let's talk about how to get your audience to stop, look, and listen to what you have to say. So I've hit kinesthetic, auditory, and visual.
Visual. Wow. Yeah, that's good. That is good. And there's, man, that's so good because especially in the content creator space, even for live streamers. So one of the things you said earlier was, I knew if I could show up confident on camera, that would translate. Well, here's the thing.
Yes.
I mean, when you're talking about NLP and some of the other techniques that you just shared, and being able to captivate and hold someone's attention for that time frame that you're live, it will do wonders. And again, when you talk about being top of mind and tip of tongue, it's those experiences and what they walked away with, what makes that impactful and leaves an impression and lets them, think about, man, I got to get back to that same experience again because I got so much value from it. I got over the hurdle.
Yeah.
I figured out what it was I was trying to do. And so that's the piece. And of course there's many different definitions of success, but for me, one of the things I'm constantly trying to do and laser focused on is helping people to share their story, whatever that story is, and using these mediums like live streaming and content creation as the platform, as the podium, as the pulpit, right? To really launch everything off of. So it's everything you're sharing. It's amazing how it all is coming together. I see and a couple of people are still commenting, gotta listen to this again. David Hunt says, replay squad. I love it. So all my replay squad, if you leave comments below, believe me, we will get to those comments because I absolutely love comments. Thank you so much for that reminder, David. Mike Alton is just like, he's just reiterating everything in the comments. I love that. I love that. This is what I want to do here. We got about a little less than 10 minutes, a little over 10 minutes left in our time together here before we get into the after party. I see Deandra Blake is here. Thank you so much for coming through, Deandra. This is our final question. I don't know if there is a tie-in to the AI, content, to the AI thing, and what you just shared with us. So there are a lot of people with NLP and some of the things that we're just talking about there. I don't know what that tie-in might be because I didn't want to derail what we've been talking about, but I did want to touch on this whole idea of conversation AI and artificial intelligence, and what is the benefit for the content creator or the live streamer? What are we missing out on for those of us that have not actually dived into this space?
Here's the thing, is that most content creators are missing out on repurposing their content. Once they've gone live, once they've published a video, they're like, okay, I'm done, on to the next thing. And it's like, stop, wait, because people aren't consuming your content on your schedule. They're consuming it on their schedule.
Very true. Very true.
And there's a reason why you would want to repurpose your content. It's like digital confetti. This is why I named the show Digital Confetti, is because you're taking all of that content gold and you're breaking it up into little tiny pieces and you're putting it all across the internet so people can find out how amazing you are, right? Mm-hmm. And Conversion.ai, what's beautiful about that is that it can help you make your social media posts just like that. Wow. Literally, I'm telling you, when I put this in, I put together my show notes, right, with Jarvis. Mm-hmm. And then it gives me my bullet points, my persuasive bullet points. That also feeds into my email. So I still connect with my email. I could then repurpose that into tweets, which I actually have running on repeat. And so I'm going to drop a lot of knowledge on you guys right now. The way that I have like my publishing queue is the ACEs framework. So I have authority, right? Mm-hmm. Authority, which is like interviews, all the different things. And then I have community. What am I doing to spark community conversations? How am I engaging my community? And then how do I sell? That's how I bucketize all of my content across social media. That's how I sprinkle it out there. Where people find me online is where people find me online. I don't ever assume that they're always going to find me on YouTube or on lightscameralive.com. That's why I leave this digital confetti, like little breadcrumbs, so they could find out where the party is at.
There it is.
Right? Because they're going to be like, hold on. Who's headlining right now? What's happening? Because I just saw somebody tore it up on the dance floor. What just happened? What's going on? Because they see all the comments, right? They see the Mike Altons, the Deandra, and like David Hunt all in the comments. They're like, hold up. Did I just miss
what's going on?
Party? Right? And they're like, okay, where do I need to find out more? And so when you repurpose your content and you use Conversion.ai, it makes it so much easier. So much easier.
Wow. So the AI piece automates some of the heavy lifting to get the content out there.
Oh, yeah. Let me geek out with you. You could do different tone of voices when it's crafting the copy for it. Yes. So I've done The Rock. Yes, I've done Dwayne Johnson. I've done Gary Vaynerchuk. I've done Lisa Nichols. I'll type in things in there like humor, whatever it is, just to see what type of personality it'll give back to me.
Kick back,
and so that's where it's fun. That's where it's fun.
I'm definitely going to check that out. If you're going to check that out as well, in the comments, let us know. My whole session for LIL is about SEO for repurposed lives. So that is what Mike Alton is going to be talking about at Leave Into Live. So I am excited for that session as well. There's just one of the things I love about what you're saying here, not just for the NLP practices, and even for the AI practices, one of the things that I'm hearing a recurring theme of, you've got to step outside of your comfort zone. You've got to be looking to do more. And if you're already doing well in some of these spaces, where else can you add? Where else can you push? Where you always want to be in a space where you're like, I'm learning here, right? You don't always want to be in spaces where you're the expert, or you don't always want to be in scenarios where everything is clicking and it's going well. One of the things I always tell my audience is every one of my videos on my YouTube channel came from an experience of complete failure. And so I'm giving you the benefit of my experience when I share these videos with you, so that you can avoid that and get to the next thing. But if we never have those experiences, we're not pushing into spaces where we're not experts, then you never have those failure moments where you can then learn and then turn around and teach and turn around and share, or take that and build on it to be able to become a master in a space that you are just now looking into. So there's just that whole exploration piece is such a huge part of, the content creator's journey and what it takes to be successful. I am looking at my time, and I recognize that we need to do at least one last thing, and that is this. And I'm looking to my audience for some suggestions. I honestly don't, most times by this time in the show, I'm like, oh yeah, there's some definite synergies here that we could talk through. But the question is, what video topic could we collaborate on? And I'm asking the audience because I'm interested to hear what they have to say, but I'm asking you as well, Stephanie, what could we collaborate on in terms of, maybe remote production? Maybe that could be a thing.
Remote production is definitely a good one. I think you and I were hitting it pretty hard as far as comfort zones.
Yeah, comfort zones, that's a good one.
Comfort zones can lead to your dreams never really coming into life, you know? Yeah. It's just a dream. That's all it really is. So we could talk about comfort zones. We could talk about creating content. We could talk about different ways to create your content. Here's the thing is that most people, I tell them, when you're thinking about your content strategy and how you're building your content one after the other, if they're all related and you transcribe all of that, then you could have like a blog post. But even better than that, you could have your own book.
Oh, wow.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Take it and make it into a book. That is dope. Oh, wow. That is good.
Why not?
Oh, man. I'm just taking more notes.
There's so much you could do. Well, let me tell you, like Showrunner Secrets from the Set, that's already a book in the making.
Wow.
So me going live and just expressing it, speaking it into existence, now that it's already published, now that there's already recaps, I know that if I want to expand on it, I can, because I did 6 full episodes, an hour each. Right?
Yeah. So you've got everything that you need.
I've got everything right there. Yeah.
That is amazing. This is what I'm going to, even as you're talking, I want to throw this back up here because I see that some of you have already, I'm looking at notifications coming in that people are buying tickets to the after party, and that's so cool. But I want to throw this back up here. If you haven't seen it already, it's been scrolling at the bottom of the screen for a long time now. Yes, we're talking about joining the mailing list, but also join us for a live Q&A after party session. Tickets are right here. If you go to the page, buymeacoffee.com/Kirk-R-Nugent, we also have the section right here. You just click it and buy it. That's it. Done. You buy the ticket, you get the Zoom link, you're in. So that's that part right there. But I also want to give Stephanie a few more minutes to just kind of talk about how people can find you, follow you, support what you're doing. If there's a new project you got coming up, of course, we know about Leap Into Live. And let me put that website back up there again for those that maybe came late and maybe you're in the replay squad. Definitely take a look at Leap Into Live. If you're in this space, if you're watching by this show, you're probably in this space. And if you're in this space, you probably need to be at Leap Into Live. This is a boot camp that you're going to want to be at. So, but yes, I want to make sure you get a chance to just kind of talk through, Stephanie. Where can people find you, follow you? What do you got coming up next? What's going on for the end of 2021?
Oh my goodness, so much is going on. So much is going on. First of all, if you want all of the show notes, everything that I put out there, you could find at lightscameralive.com. livestreming.com. I have show notes for all the different shows, showrunner secrets from the set, digital confetti, which is all about repurposing your show. Lights, Camera, Live is pretty much how to take your business from unknown to unforgettable. As far as what else is happening, if any of you are in a nonprofit space, I am opening keynote on Wednesday for Change the World. And we're talking about how nonprofits can leverage live video. Because here's the thing. Live streaming has grown over 99% from April 2019 to April 2020. And that was just at the beginning of the pandemic. Where do you think we are right now?
Wow, my goodness.
Right? And you've heard Kirk talk about like how he's using Amazon Live, getting additional revenue that way, passive income. I have a good friend of mine who does Giving Day St. Louis, Giving Day Liu. And they raised $7.7 million in a single day. And this is for a nonprofit organization. So don't tell me nonprofits that you can't leverage live video, because all he uses is a smartphone, an iographer case, an external mic, and an external light that you just put on there. That doesn't give you goosebumps.
My goodness.
Check your pulse. Check your pulse. So we're going to talk about that on Wednesday on how nonprofit organizations should be leveraging live video. And let me tell you, it's not about the gear. It's not always about the gear. It's about how to get the gears working up here.
Come on. That's good.
So that's 9 a.m. Pacific, Wednesday. Change the world. You could hit me up. You could, find me on social media and find out there. As for everything else, if you want to learn more about NLP, we have our next cohort. It's 7 days. 7 days from September 23rd to the 29th. If you got so much value in this 45 1-minute hour, just imagine when you have my undivided attention for 7 days straight. I would tell you most content creators that have already worked with me, and they are out there and they are launching intensives, new things, raising their prices, because when you have the belief and you are congruent in what you have to offer as far as value, you're never going to undercharge yourself.
Absolutely.
So
that's it right there. What is you said the September 23rd?
September 23rd to the 29th.
Where do we go? Where do we go?
CaptivateOnCommand.com.
I saw that Mike Alton put that in there, but I'm definitely going to make sure that we put that in the description as well. So if you can just give it to me as a message or
Captivate on Command. CaptivateOnCommand.com.
Love it. I'm there. I see it already. So I will put that in the description of the video so that some of our replay squad can see that and have access to it as well. But I'm also taking note of it for myself because I might be registering. So if you register, you might see me in there. We just got to figure out a way to take 7 days off.
Here's the thing. Most people will say that same thing to me. They're like, 7 days is a long time. And you know what I tell them, Kirk? I tell them, it only takes 7 days to take your business to the next level. How much value is that to you? How valuable is that to you? Because you could spend another year, 2 years, 3 years trying to figure stuff out. But you know what's really expensive? Not charging what you're worth.
That's very expensive.
Because there's stories and all this other stuff. So 7 days, that's all it takes.
Wow. I'm blown away. I'm already sold in terms of going out and grabbing what I need to for this event. But I'm also just, really appreciative of the fact that you took some time out to come hang out with us here at How It All Works, because I have learned a lot from you, and I've been sharing so much, and just, man, this has been almost like dessert, right? Just hanging out and chatting and getting to some more perspective, some of the things that, when you watch a live show, you can comment and stuff, but to have you on here to be able to chat it up with you, it's just amazing. I'm trying to get into the Zoom room right now, and I'm looking around to see if anybody else is already trying to enter in there. Looks like we do have some people that are already trying to enter, but I just want to say a word of thanks to you, Stephanie, as I get ready to close this thing out. I want to say a word of thanks to you for coming through, hanging out with us, and just blowing our minds, right? And really taking the comfort zone and putting it where we can't find it anymore, because we have to get ourselves in gear in order to get ourselves to the next level. I don't know if anybody's honest with themselves, I don't know anybody that would be like, yeah, I willingly, I want to stay at this level. I don't want to go any further than where I'm currently. And that's not a thing. That's not a thing that people say like, oh, no, I want to stay right where I'm at. I don't want to go any further. But man, it's been amazing. Thank you again for coming through, and you will be hearing from me. We might have to have you back next season or sometime after things kind of settle a little bit.
Always happy. Yeah. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone for hanging out. Truly, truly appreciate you. Thanks for letting me geek out on all the things,
Excellent. Well, family, it has been a show of shows. Like I've blown away. I've gotten 2 pages of notes here. I see some people are saying, hey, Kirk, let me into Zoom. Man, we have had a blast today with Stephanie Liu. And for those of you that are joining in the Zoom room right now, it's already going down. It's already getting ready to happen. Man, I'm hoping that somewhere in the video today, you're able to see that light bulb go on. I'm hoping that you're able to pull back that curtain a little bit and figure out some of the inner workings and mechanics of what we were discussing and talking about today. Hoping that we delivered on what we put in the title. I know some of you are big on that. Like, Kirk, you didn't really answer our questions today. I think we did. I think we gave you more than you bargained for, I think. It's your boy, Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher, hoping that somewhere in the video today, we got you a little closer to figuring out how it all works. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Later.